Well, in an effort to try and contain the virus, one of the first moves by airlines was to start cancelling flights in and out of China. In just a week, almost 10,000 flights were cancelled, with a significant financial impact on the aviation industry. Well, here are some of the numbers. Data collected by an aviation consultancy firm says that between the 23rd and 29th of January, a total of 9,807 scheduled flights to and from the Chinese mainland did not fly. British Airways was one of the first UK airlines to announce cancellations. All 129 of its flights from Heathrow to Beijing and Shanghai are grounded until the end of February, affecting up to 24,000 passengers. Virgin Atlantic is the latest airline to suspend flights to and from China. It's halting 56 flights, which will affect 11,500 passengers. And from the epicentre of the outbreak in Wuhan, figures show that between the 23rd and 28th of January, 2,606 planes were set to fly in and out of the city, but 92% of those were cancelled. Joining me now is Peter Morris, who is a chief economist with the aviation consultancy firm Ascend by Cirium, which compiled that data. Thanks very much indeed for being on the programme, Peter. So all of those flights cancelled is quite a large scale, isn't it? What is the cost going to be for airline companies?
Well, on an ongoing basis, we're now looking at about 25% fewer flights to, from and within China than would have been expected for this time of year. So the figures are getting bigger all the time, and it's a kind of circle, effectively, that as the airlines cancel, people are also looking to cancel trips, so the airlines cancel a few more flights.
And is this going to be a large financial cost for the airlines? Presumably it must be.
It's unknown at the moment, because there's a certain amount of postponed travel. Like, for example, I was due to go to Shanghai for a business trip that's probably going to be postponed for a month or two, or we're going to do the dialogue over the phone and video and so on. So business will carry on. It's a question of getting to that point where everyone feels comfortable, companies, governments and individuals, to fly.
And if the airlines do end up losing out, presumably that cost will end up being passed on to travellers.
Well, it will, except that what you're going to see is that a certain level of cancellation of flights that actually avoids that individual cost of the flight, but nonetheless they have the planes and they want to fly them. But the hope is that this can be contained and that within 6 months or so actually things could be coming back. And if you actually look at 2003 with the whole SARS epidemic, there was a terrible 4 months, but after that, for the year, actually there was some growth in traffic. So the recovery can be reasonably quick, provided people feel it's contained.
And of course we still don't know what's going to happen, but will the airline industry recover from any losses it might sustain at this stage?
Well, I think at the moment they were expecting a level of profitability a bit better than last year. That was before this happened. So obviously it's going to be impacted, but it is impacted specific areas of the world. So overall, I think the hope would be that the profitability would be reduced, but wouldn't actually go negative.